President Biden receiving heated criticism from both Democrats and Republicans following his speech last night. I'm curious your reaction to the president's speech.
Well, yesterday was the worst day in President Biden's presidency. This was the worst week in his presidency. He's lost more people in one day than we've lost in Afghanistan, military people than we've lost in Afghanistan in 18 months. So he has to stay on track, and he has to get the evacuations working effectively and for it to continue to go. But the reality has sunk in that people are right, that Afghanistan is going to again become a haven for terrorism. That the Taliban either willfully or either it could not secure the perimeter of the airport or it chose not to secure the perimeter of the airport. But either way, this is the new reality. And this will also encourage jihadists and terrorists around the world. For them, this is God has spoken and God is good. And now we've had a big victory, our biggest victory in decades. And it's time to build again. So it's a little bit like 9/10/2001. If Al Qaeda reconstitutes itself again in Afghanistan, we're really back to square one.
They say the enemy of your enemy is your friend, but this idea that relying on Taliban for help in evacuating Americans, that's a hard concept to swallow. Your thoughts on whether Americans should be trusting the Taliban with this effort?
Well, I've spoken to Pakistani officials about this, high level on the government side, also on the intelligence side, and they are convinced that this is a different Taliban, that this Taliban will abide more by the Constitution, will look more after human rights of women. They certainly want to get credibility. And for your viewers, CNBC viewers, you've got $9 billion in currency reserves they want to get access to. They'd love to get access to $400 million of IMF drawing rights. To do all that, they have to play nice with the international community. The real question is, can you change the spots on the leopard? And I think we're seeing the leadership wanting to do that, the leadership talking about that. But on the other hand, the whole nature of this organization is to ally itself with Al Qaeda. It never admitted that Al Qaeda was a terrorist organization, or even that it was involved in 9/11. So I think it is not a totally coherent and cohesive organization. And I think you're going to see Afghanistan as ungoverned territory again, as it's been throughout centuries and was under the Taliban the last time the Taliban ruled.
Taliban controlling Afghanistan, they have some level of influence in Pakistan, whether the prime minister there, Imran Khan, wants to admit it or not. Where does that leave a country like India, a Hindu state that's already been the victim of terrorism in the past?
I've also talked to our partners in India in the past week. They're dispirited. What does this tell you about your strategic partnership with the United States when you see Afghanistan falling to the Taliban? The Taliban is in alliance with India's enemy, Pakistan, though I must say I do believe the two countries should come to peace at some point. But for right now, India has to look at the United States and say, what really does this alliance bring us? What does this partnership bring us, at least in Afghanistan? So they will have to decide, do we back the Northern Alliance? This is the alliance that still is trying to reconstitute itself again under the son of the great legendary commander Massoud. Do we work in intelligence against the Taliban?
Right.
It's also a decision we have to make, is do we work with the Taliban, which we're doing now, and trust them and work with them, or do we just say, no, that's a non-starter, we have to work against?